Hi everyone, it's Sarah Rudolph here with Vital Life Physical Therapy and Wellness in Longview. I went to church on Sunday and the pastor actually spoke on a story about the man at the pool of Bethesda, a lame man who didn't have anybody to help him get into the healing waters when the water was stirred. And Jesus actually said to the man, "Do you want to be made well?" And it really got me thinking about something that I've actually thought about quite a lot before, but stirred my thinking again, and I thought I would just hop on and just talk a little bit about pain and conditions that people live with, and how sometimes people actually tend to identify with their sickness or their pain. And sometimes people have allowed themselves to become defined by their back pain or whatever it is that they are having to deal with. And you know, there's something a little bit dangerous about really identifying with a disease or sickness that you have, or allowing yourself to be defined by it. It really changes the dynamic of how it is processed in your body, in your mind, and in your emotions. I've seen, as I've worked with people that have pain or have different chronic conditions, that some people even personalize it. So they will talk about my back pain, or maybe my fibromyalgia, or whatever other diagnosis that they have been given. And you know, sometimes the diagnosis is just a label, and many people have been diagnosed incorrectly over the years. So, you know, attaching your identity to a specific diagnosis really isn't necessarily a healthy thing in the long run. I've noticed that sometimes people become so comfortable in their pain or in that diagnosis that they have attached to themselves that actually they are a little afraid to change. They maybe don't want the change that healing will bring, or they're afraid of what the change of healing would bring in their life. And that can be something else that can sometimes hold people back, is that fear almost of the unknown, because they have become so comfortable in their position and in their identifying with their disease or their back pain or neck pain or pelvic pain, whatever it is, that they really have become comfortable with it, and they are afraid. They don't really know how to think about living life in a different way. Sometimes people just healing. And you know, in the world of myofascial release, we really recognize the fact that trauma and emotions and stuff can get stored and stuck in the body. So sometimes the work of healing can be physical. For example, you know, I may give somebody an exercise to do to strengthen a muscle or muscle group that has become weak, that's affecting their ability to function or hold themselves a certain way. Or I may give them a stretch to do, to stretch out something that's become tight and restrictive and might be affecting their movement, or pulling on a joint or something that is causing them pain, or affecting their alignment, which could be causing them pain. So that's physical work, and you know, I can only tell my patients or my clients what to do. I cannot do it for them. I only see them usually once a week, so it's pretty much up to them to take the responsibility to do the work of healing. When I give my patients a self-treatment ball, it's up to them to actually use the self-treatment ball to help release the tightness and the tenderness in their tissues. And if they don't do that work of healing, they're going to take longer to heal and get freedom from their condition. Well, just like there is a physical aspect to the healing, like I've just mentioned, there many times can also be an emotional and mental component to healing, especially when it comes to chronic issues. Sometimes people just don't want to do the hard work of dealing with emotions and traumatic things in their past that have potentially become trapped in their bodies. Dealing with the past is not really reliving it all, but it's allowing yourself to go back to things that caused you trauma and just allow yourself to feel the emotions or whatever it was that was traumatic to you at the time. And allowing yourself to actually feel it can many times help you heal. In the myofascial release world, John Barnes has one of his favorite sayings is, you have to feel in order to heal. And if people are taking too many medications that are numbing out their pain, whether it be pain medication or it might be like an antidepressant or something, to where they literally are kind of numbed out and don't feel the pain, it's harder to actually allow yourself to feel those emotions and to be able to work through them. Sometimes just allowing yourself to feel that hurt or whatever it is that caused you trauma previously, and allow it to create a good cry, a good yell out the frustration that it might have caused, actually does something amazing, and it releases tension and stuff that's been stored in your tissues for a long time, which really can be causing pain and can be affecting your ability to function on a daily basis. So sometimes you really just have to allow yourself to go in and do that deep work of healing. And you can allow yourself to do it one layer at a time, like an onion. Sometimes things are too traumatic and you can't handle going through the whole thing at one time. But at any time, you can decide that you have processed enough on a given day or night, whenever you prefer to work through that. And then you can say, okay, I've worked through some of it. It's enough for right now. And then allow yourself at a later stage to come back and do some more of that deep healing work. And you will be amazed at how it can really have an effect in lightening your load in your physical body as well. Have a patient who's dealing with chronic pain, and she knows that she has an issue way back from her childhood. This person in particular has one of the tightest soft tissues that I have worked with in somebody, and there's trauma in her past that she will not allow herself to process and will not allow herself to allow those emotions to come out. Every time they start to come up, she pushes them back down, and it's like starting all over again. So I'm seeing this is in a body of somebody in their 60s that is being affected and causing pain on a daily basis because she is afraid or doesn't want to do the work of the emotional healing that's involved, which will ultimately help to bring physical healing in her body. There definitely is danger in attaching your identity to a diagnosis that you may have been given or that you maybe have given yourself. So be careful of that if you are somebody suffering with pain or with a chronic diagnosis. And I want to just let you know that if you are struggling to let go of trauma and things in your past that have caused mental and emotional pain, myofascial release can be very beneficial in helping you release that trauma that has become stuck in your tissues. So you can find a myofascial release therapist at myofascialrelease.com. Those are therapists that have been trained by John Barnes and really recognize the mind-body connection in healing. And then there are plenty of resources out there to help you deal with those emotional aspects of trauma. And some of you may know that my husband has written a book called Let It Go, which is a great book with practical insights on how to release hurt and trauma from your past so that you can actually live more freely in the present and enjoy the future. So that book is available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. There are several books by the title Let It Go, so you would need to look for the title Let It Go by Oren Rudolph. And I know that book will help some of you work through some of your trauma that has been holding you back from living a life of abundance and just enjoying your life. So if you have any other questions about this, please feel free to message me or contact me. My office details are here on my Facebook page. Thanks for watching and have a great evening.